So today I have Connor with me. He just woke up. And I want to do the cloth pad tag. It's something that circulates around YouTube that many YouTubers have done in their videos, and so I would like to do that as well. It kind of just runs through your favorites of all types of subjects. So there's like several questions, and I'll just start at 1 and go through the 16 questions. So the first one is, what is your favorite style pad? And my favorite style would be the all-in-one. So it has everything in there. The topper, and in the middle is the core material, which is absorbent. It can be Zorb, super heavy organic bamboo fleece, or flannel, or anything that's absorbent. And then the backer, which would be like a fleece or a PUL backer. And so it's an all-in-one. There's no extra snap-in parts or anything. It's just ready to go. And question number 2, what is your favorite brand? Well, my favorite brand would be, anybody who watches my channel would already know that my favorite is All Fluffed Up. She has a unique style of pads and patterns. And so that would be my favorite brand. Her quality is really great as well. And number 3 is, what is my favorite color? My favorite color would be anything that is dark. I really like purples, but I really just prefer anything that's dark that would be good with staining. Hey, let's put a plug in there. There we go. So anything dark. And number 4 is, what are your favorite prints? Well, my favorite prints would be anything unique, and that would be anything that's out of the ordinary that you don't quite see circulating all over the place, like it's rare, hard to find, that sort of thing. That would be my favorite prints. And sorry if I'm going through this really quickly. I just want to get straight to the point, and I have to go get my son off the bus. So, okay, so number 5 is, what is your favorite length? My favorite length would be a 9-inch front pleater with a small bottom that it's just really comfortable for me. So that would be my favorite length, is a front pleater. Most any front pleater is going to be my favorite. And number 6, what is my favorite topper fabric? Well, that would be knit. And it is because it's soft, and for me personally, I feel it absorbs very quickly, whereas like cotton woven doesn't. So I like the soft aspect and the fact that it absorbs quickly. Now, some would disagree that knit doesn't absorb as quick as some others, like flannel or OBV. I just never have that problem. It absorbs really quickly for me. So what is my favorite backer? Well, that would be WinPro. And as of late, I'm kind of picky about WinPro as well, because I've noticed over several months of washing that there's a certain type of WinPro that gets really peely, and so I really like this type of WinPro that's really soft, and I try to avoid this type of WinPro because it gets peely. It's not the biggest thing in the world though, so it's not like I get a pad and if it has that type of WinPro I'm like, ugh, because it's not that big of a deal. It's just a personal preference, and I would even pay a little bit more just to have a nicer WinPro. So it's really not something that people should be picky about though. It's really not that big of a deal. Okay, so moving on. My favorite overnight pad, and that would be my 14-inch length from All Fluffed Up. It has a snapped width of about 2.75 inches, and it's just perfect for overnight use. And I can use it even in just a moderate. And number 11, what is my favorite cloth pad? So my all-time favorite cloth pad in my entire stash would be this pad from So C'est La Vie, and it is a Rocket Kitty pad. And I don't know why I love it so much, but I think it's the fact that cats mixed with galaxy, like 2 of my favorite things mixed into one pad. It just makes the perfect pad, and the shape is wonderful, and the Windpro in the back is just a super, super soft and durable Windpro. I just love it so much. So this is my favorite pad. It's the one that I don't want to use because I don't want to mess it up in any way, and so I just admire looking at it. But I do use it. I just don't use it as much as the other ones. Okay, so my computer timed out. Alright, so what is your favorite detergent? I just use regular Tide. That's my favorite detergent. I don't do anything fancy, but I am considering, let's move on to the next question actually. What is your favorite stain remover? Okay, so now onto that subject. I am considering getting like a stain stick because as of right now I only use OxiClean and it works just fine for me, but it's kind of, I hate the fact that like OxiClean, you have to dissolve it in hot water to get it to dissolve. Otherwise, if you add OxiClean into cold water, it just stays like crystallized. And so I hate the fact that for some reason, my wash routine, I actually wash my pads in my bathtub, and the water that comes out of my bathtub faucet is not very cold. It actually comes out pretty warm. And so then when I have to use dissolve the OxiClean in hot water, and then I usually try to dump the hot OxiClean solution into the cold water, but because my water doesn't get cold enough, I'm noticing that the warmness of the water is not good for stain treating. So I really need to do a solution where I have cold water, even if I have to add ice cubes to my bathtub. But I need cold water and a stain stick. So I'm going to find a stain stick, and I'm going to try that out instead of OxiClean. Okay, so moving on. What is your favorite storage solution? My storage solution is just this bucket. I know, it's crazy. I have this thing. Once the bucket gets full, I destash. I don't see any point in keeping pads that don't work for me, or I know some people want like hundreds of pads and it's all about like how many you have. For me, it's about how functional the pads you have are. Like make the most. I don't know, there's probably only like 30 in there because I destash a lot because I only keep what works great for me. I don't see any reason in holding on to them. So next question is, where's your favorite place to purchase? Favorite place to purchase? Well, I like several aspects of Etsy. I like the fact that it's like ready to ship, click, there it goes, and then you get a notification when your item has shipped, you get a notification when your item has been delivered, and I really like that, as well as going into and see what you've purchased. So those aspects are really, really nice. But I find that the makers that I buy from are all on Facebook, and so by default, Facebook has to be my favorite place to buy, just because that's where I'm going to get the biggest variety of what I need, and that is from Facebook groups. So, and I can also have a little more personal messages with the makers when I message them through the Facebook Messenger. And I can do that on Etsy, but it just doesn't feel as personal as it does on Facebook. Okay, so next question and the last question is, what is your favorite thing about cloth? Well, my favorite thing is that it brings a fun aspect to having your period. I know that the typical response is probably going to be the fact that it's eco-friendly, and I do love that, but more so I love the fact that he just farted. That was not me. Control yourself, boy. I'm just kidding. My favorite thing is that periods can be very depressing, and it makes you feel like, oh, I'm getting my period, and then you're gonna have to feel all sticky with this disposable pad. Cloth pads just give you a little something to look forward to. And in the years that I've switched to cloth pads, I've noticed that I don't worry about my period coming. I don't go, I'm so mad. I don't do that anymore. In fact, I'm like, I get to use my cloth pads, and I'm all excited. So I really like that aspect about cloth, is that there's fun prints, and you can't get that with a disposable, So that's what I really love about cloth. So that's my cloth pad tag. I hope you guys liked the video. Give it a thumbs up. And if you've done your own cloth pad tag, comment with that in the boxes below. That way I can check out your video. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.